Peggy was not really cruel. She protected small children from bullies. Bullies means the meaning is written here those who use their strength or power to frighten weaker people. Means जो कमजोर बच्चों को जो डराते थे such kind of children. So she protected small children from bullies and she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. Here it is shown that she was not cruel when she make fun of that girl. It doesn't mean that she is a cruel girl. She cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. If anybody had said to her, "Don't you think that is a cruel way to treat Wanda?" she would have been very surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? So she says that this is not the cruel thing. She herself said this thing that I have 100 dresses, and if I say her, if I ask her again and again, so nothing wrong in it because she herself said this thing. Anybody would tell that that was a lie. Why did she want to lie? And she was not just an ordinary person. Else, why did she have a name like that anyway? They never made her cry. So she had some question in her mind that then why she tells a lie and she has a different name also. She herself said that she had 100 dresses. So these are the things. And at the end, she says, anyway, they had never made her cry. उन्होंने कभी भी उसे रुलाया नहीं था या उसकी वजह से वो कभी भी रोई नहीं थी. As for Maddie, this business of asking Wanda every day how many dresses and how many hats and how many this and that she had was bothering her. Now she was little bit worried. Who? Maddie. Maddie was little bit worried. She didn't like asking again and again that how many dresses, how many hats, shoes she had. So she was not liking it. Maddie was poor herself because she herself was a poor girl. She usually wore somebody's hand me down clothes. Hand me down clothes means old clothes handed down by someone else, means rejected by someone else. So she used those clothes, means given or gifted by other old clothes. Thank goodness she didn't live up on Boggins Heights or have a funny name. Now she herself thinks that she herself is a poor girl and she thanks God that it is good that she doesn't live Boggins Heights where Wanda lives and she has a good name, not the funny name like Wanda herself. Sometimes, when Peggy was asking Wanda those questions in that mocking, polite voice, Maddie felt embarrassed and studied the marbles in the palm of her hand, rolling them around and saying nothing to herself. Because now this is the quality shown here of Maddie. Maddie felt embarrassed whenever in front of or in the presence of Maddie, Wanda was insulted or mocked by Peggy. So she herself felt, means Maddie herself felt embarrassed, and at that time she tries to distract her mind by rolling the marbles in her palm, and she doesn't say anything. Not that she felt sorry for Wanda exactly, she would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy had not invented the dress game. And she herself accepted this thing that because of Peggy, she paid attention towards Wanda. Otherwise, if she had not invented that dress game or that insult, so otherwise she would not have paid any kind of attention towards वांडा. कि अगर पैगी ने वो गेम इन्वेंट नहीं किया होता तो शायद वो मेडी जो है वो कभी भी वांडा की तरफ ध्यान उसका नहीं जाता. But suppose Peggy and all the others started in on her next. But she was worried कि क्या हो अगर वो जिस तरह से वांडा को जिस तरह से चिढ़ाते हैं अगला नंबर उसका हो या वो उसको भी इसी तरह से चिढ़ाने लग जाए क्योंकि शी वॉज नॉट एज पुअर एज वांडा परहैप्स बट शी वॉज पुअर. कि वो इतनी तो पुअर नहीं थी जितनी वांडा थी बट वो भी काफ़ी पुअर थी. ऑफ कोर्स शी वुड हैव मोर सेंसेस देन टू से she had 100 dresses, though she will not tell this thing that she has 100 dresses. Okay, she had the sense not to tell such things, such stupid or useless things, but still she would not like for them to begin on her. लेकिन वो ऐसा कभी भी पसंद नहीं करेगी कि उसको उसकी तरह से चिढ़ाया जाए या वो खेल उस पे शुरू किया जाए. शी विश्ड पैगी वुड स्टॉप टीजिंग वांडा पेट्रॉन्स्की. बट शी विश्ड वो ऐसी इच्छा थी उसकी या ऐसी कामना करती थी कि शायद वांडा पेट्रॉन्स्की को जल्दी ही चिढ़ाना बंद कर दे. पैगी जो चिढ़ाती थी वो उसको चिढ़ाना बंद कर दे. Today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. Though they were very late, but she was quite happy that Maddie and Peggy were not with Wanda, so they had not chance to make fun of Wanda. She worked her arithmetic problems अंक गणित की जो सवाल होते हैं प्रॉब्लम्स होती है absent mindedly means in the period of maths she was absent minded means uninterested doing that work. 8 times 8 let's see means this was the example. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy to say, "Hey Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." Now, why is she absent minded? Because she herself thinks that at least, or she must write something, write a note addressing to Peggy that Peggy, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has. मीन्स उसको चिढ़ाना बंद कर देते हैं ऐसा वो लेटर लिखने का उसकी इच्छा हुई. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Suddenly she paused and shuddered. Shuddered means shook, कांप गई. Paused means stopped. So now she started writing a letter to Peggy, but at the same time something came into her mind, and she paused, she stopped, she completely shagged. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings so no one in room 13 would recognize it. Now that was the another problem. Why did she stop? Because she herself didn't want to be the next target of Peggy. If she asked that whose dress you are wearing and exactly, and the correct answer was the dress she was wearing was the dress of Peggy. Okay, and Maddie's mother just trimmed it or made a little bit changes in that dress so that no one in that room could recognize that this is the dress of Peggy. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. And it, according to that Maddie, it can be stopped if if Peggy herself would decide one day, according to herself, then it will surely be stopped. Otherwise, it will not be stopped. Oh well, Maddie ran her hand through saw her short blonde hair, as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. Now she was quite restless, and she pretended like she wants to push those uncomfortable thoughts because she was feeling very uncomfortable. She was very much sympathized towards that girl, Wanda, but at the same time, Peggy was her own best friend. So she was feeling quite uncomfortable, and at the same time, she pretended, or she did, or she just ran her hand through her hair like she wants to throw those uncomfortable thoughts away. What difference did it make? Slowly, Maddie tore into bits the knot she had started. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought. Now, she thought about Peggy, that she was her best friend and she was the best liked girl in that class also. So, she could not possibly do anything wrong. Who is thinking? Maddie herself is thinking about Peggy. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Boggins Heights and stood alone in the schoolyard. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dresses, pale blue with colored trimmings, and she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red sash. You would look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. Now, she thinks about that Wanda, that she was the girl she knows only, nothing more than that. She lives upon Boggins Heights and she is all alone in the school. Nothing much than that. And she scarcely, means hardly ever said anything to anybody, means she is all alone in the school. And whenever or many times she talked about her 100 dresses, and she remembered once or twice she talked about her pale blue colored dress, another a green, a jungle green dress she talked about, and other students, other girls told that you would look like a Christmas tree in that. And they told in that pretended admiration, means not, that was not the real admiration. Admiration means तारीफ प्रशंसा, that was pretended, means झूठी प्रशंसा थी. Thinking upon Wanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder means to think, who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. Now she was thinking about Wanda and her 100 dresses, and at the same time she started thinking about that upcoming or the drawing and coloring contest, who was going to win. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses, and for boys, of designing motorboats. So, for girls and for boys, there were different contests. For boys, that was the designing of motorboats, and for girls, designing dresses. Okay, probably Peggy would win the girls' medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. At least that's what everybody thought. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film stars had, so that you could almost tell who it was. Or Maddie was sure Peggy would win. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners, then they would know. Now, she thinks that for girls' contest, Peggy would surely win because she is very good at sketching or drawing or coloring. And she gives example that she could copy a picture from the magazine of any film star and you can recognize that whose picture it is. Means she is very good at drawing or coloring the pictures or making pictures. So she was very curious to know that who is going to be the winner of the upcoming competition. The next day it was drizzling. Drizzling means बूंदाबांदी होना, हल्की बारिश होना. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street, the street that far, far away under the railroad tracks and up the hill led to Boggins Heights. Means on that day, because it was raining, so they didn't wait for that girl, Wanda Petronsky, and straightly they went towards the school. Anyway, they were not taking chances on being late today because today was important. And why it was important? Because today the name of winners was going to be announced. Do you think Miss Mason will announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. Oh, I hope so. The minute we get in, said Maddie. Of course, you will win, Peg. So both of them were talking about the announcement. So Peggy asked that, do you think Miss Mason will announce? She says yes, I hope so that today she will announce the result or winners, and of course you will win. Peg. Peg means Peggy. Hope so, said Peggy eagerly. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. Gasped means completely shocked. They were drawing There were drawings all over the room on every ledge. Ledge means stand, जिसे हम कहते हैं shelf. And windowsill. Windowsill means जो खिड़की की जो चौखट होती है, दहलीज, that is windowsill. Dazzling colors and brilliant. Lavish. Lavish means भव्य, बहुत अच्छे डिजाइंस थे. All drawn on great sheets of wrapping papers. There must have been 100 of them all lined up. These must be the drawings for the contest. They were. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. So now, as they entered into that classroom, they saw that hundreds of pictures were there or drawings were there everywhere in that room, and there were colorful pictures of dresses. And as they entered, everybody stopped, everybody whistled, murmured admiringly means everybody was admiring those pictures, those drawings. As soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Bagels had won for the boys. Means now it was the announcement time. Everybody was assembled there, and at that time, that teacher, Miss Mason, announced that Jack Bagels is the winner from the category of boys, she said, and his design for an outboard motor was on exhibition in room 12 along with the sketches by all the other boys. Means that exhibition is there in room number 12, and now it was the turn for girls. As for the girls, she said, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most of the girls submitted one or two sketches, one girl in room 13 should be proud of her. This one girl actually drew 100 designs. She says that one girl, means everyone or most of the girls have submitted one or two paintings, drawings, or designs, but one girl had submitted 100 designs, and our class proud of her. All different and beautiful, all designs are different and very beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawings is worthy of winning the prize. Means any one of her drawings will win the prize according to the judges. I am very happy to say that Wanda Petronsky is the winner of the girls medal, and she announced the name of Wanda Petronsky is the winner from the category of girls. Unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. File around means line बना के चलना. Exquisite means उत्तम, top class. So she says that she is unfortunately not here to receive the first prize. So whenever she comes, she will get or will tell or she will receive the applause at that time. So she instructed all the girls to roam around that room quietly and look at those exquisite or good, very excellent drawings. The children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, put their fingers in their mouths, and whistle through. Sorry, though they were not interested in dresses. Now, is it was announced, they burst into applause. Means everyone applauded, everyone clapped, they shouted, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor. Earlier, it was mentioned that whenever there was the little chance to laugh, they laughed a lot. So, they got the chance to stamp on the floor. उनको पाँव रगड़ने का मौका मिल गया था उन बॉयज़ को, एंड दे वर डूइंग दैट थिंग, पुट देयर फिंगर्स इन देयर माउथ एंड विसल, और उन्होंने ज़ोर ज़ोर से सीटियाँ भी बजाई थी. दो दे वर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन ड्रेसेस, हालांकि वो ड्रेसेस में उनको उन ड्रेसेस के कलर से, ड्रेसेस से, उन पिक्चर से कोई लेना देना नहीं था. Then also they got the chance to shout, and they shouted, they whistled, they applauded. Look back, whispered Maddie. There is that blue one she told us about. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, said Peggy. And here is that green one, boy, and I thought I could draw. And she said, Maddie said, that look back, there is blue dress or blue picture she mentioned about. And she asked, isn't it beautiful? And she also praised, yes, she admired that, yes, Peggy, it is really beautiful. And here is that green one, and here is that green dress. And she says that I thought I I only could draw this thing, but I was wrong. Anyone can draw, and she drew it in a very beautiful manner. That is all about the chapter.